You've heard of 4th of July, America's Independence Day. It's been celebrated for over hundreds of years. However, not everyone was free on July 4th, 1776. That's why many today celebrate Juneteenth. Juneteenth is a holiday celebrating the freedom from slavery that the Emancipation Proclamation promised in 1863.
Juneteenth started on June the 19th, 1865 as a result of the Emancipation Proclamation, which was a part of the abolishment of slavery in the United States. And so, as the story goes, it took 2.5 years for that information to spread across the country until it reached Galveston, Texas, which was one of the last territories where the information was received, where people before that point in time were still enslaved. So Juneteenth is known as the ending of slavery celebration.
Since that day, in 1865, celebrations that started locally in Galveston, Texas, has grown throughout the country. Now, African Americans everywhere get together on June 19th to commemorate the African American Independence Day. Whether it's a parade, a cookout, or a march, it's all about celebration.
Juneteenth is a valid celebration because it is a reminder, again, that this country is about freedom for its citizens. And it reminds not only the African Americans of that promise, it reminds the country of that promise.
Every year, hundreds of people gather at the Juneteenth Atlanta Parade and Music Festival to celebrate the holiday. The proud founder and director, Bob Johnson, formed the ever-growing Juneteenth celebration to honor unity and freedom within the community.
We started Juneteenth in 2012, and it's been 9 years now. But we put the festival together to display history, to educate us, the community, the public, on our achievements, on what we've been through, our struggles, our challenges, our culture, and basically, a commemoration of our freedom fighters who fought for what we're referring to as freedom today.
The Juneteenth Atlanta Festival is one of the largest Juneteenth celebrations in Atlanta, as it features parade floats, marching bands, and a music stage for local artists. With over 100 vendors, supporting Black-owned businesses is a very important part of the Juneteenth Atlanta Festival. For Bob Johnson, the festival is all about bringing people together.
I guess what we want people to leave with is a feeling of unity, because as we know, slavery was to divide, to kind of take things away, like your name, your family ties, your home, your land, things of that nature, your language. And so, I guess, really, it's about unity, people coming together, just feeling unified, like collectively doing something positive to uplift the community, leave with a feeling that you're connected, like a reconnection to what was taken away, what was lost, inspire people to strive towards identity.
Going back to your roots and reconnecting with what was lost during slavery is a common theme during this holiday. Just ask artist-activist Charmaine Minniefield. She is known for her impactful art that explores African and African American history. The AIB network visited Minniefield at Oakland Cemetery to view her new art installation titled Remembrance as Resistance, Preserving Black Narratives.
Remembrance as Resistance, Preserving Black Narratives is a public art project presented by Flux Projects here at Oakland Cemetery, which honors 800 unmarked graves that was recently discovered by Oakland Cemetery in the African American grounds by Georgia State Technology. We are erecting a praise house in memory of those 800, actually 879 to be exact. Souls that were once lost, now found. We're honoring them with a praise house here in Oakland Cemetery.
Minnifield's installation piece was open to the public to commemorate Juneteenth.
I think that the principle of freedom, the ideal of freedom that we achieved collectively as a country during emancipation is worthy of remembering. That in spite of the circumstances of war and division and race and power, the actual achievement was freedom for that time, and the idea of returning to that accomplishment as we consider what our future here forward, to me is important. I'd like to see freedom realized finally. Freedom in the sense of the end of systemic oppression, the end of white supremacy, the end of inequity and injustice, police brutality, for instance. I'd like all of those issues to finally be resolved, and we hold up freedom as that solution.
Right over the hill from the Confederate burial grounds stands Minnifield's Praise House. Inside, viewers are immersed by the religious ritual of the ring shout.
Here in our praise house, you'll see a contemporary iteration of a ring shout. The ring shout was a traditional African American gathering and worship practice that was born during enslavement, I say as an act of resistance, because they wouldn't allow us to have drums. So we made a drum out of the floor of where we gathered, and those spaces were called praise houses. It became our communal drum, our collective drum. And what we would do is stand in circle, and we would sing and call and response, and the entire room of us standing in circle would move in prayer. And we would do that in some cases all night long. And that tradition actually existed as a way to retain our African identity, because it comes from African ritual and ceremony. But here, when you get here, our praise house that we've created here in the African American burial grounds is a contemporary version of that. So when you go inside, it's a digital ring shout, a projection mapping of the ring shout on the walls. You'll feel like you're immersed inside of the ring shout itself.
I took a moment to experience the praise house for myself and was taken back in time witnessing Minnifield's ring shout projection.
Try